Hi everyone, it's Sarah with Your No Hero. I wanted to jump on real quick, and with it being Gen Con weekend, which obviously has been canceled in person, but they're doing a virtual con. I'm not participating in that, but I wanted to jump on here real quick and talk about the two virtual cons I have participated in this year. Both ran by Goodman Games. The first was Cyclops Con, and they sent me a badge to show that I participated. And the second one was DCC Days Online. I made a much more, I guess I would say, real attempt to make Cyclops Con a convention. I attended a couple of seminars. I ran games, obviously. I participated in games. I did some of the social hours, and it was a really great experience. I ran Hubris, the Orcs adventure that should be coming to Kickstarter pretty soon. Hubris and Orcs are both by Mike Evans, and I will link Hubris down below. It is an amazing campaign setting, and I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy running for it, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to DCC Days Online. But yeah, I ran Orcs, which is a level 3 adventure. I had run it once before at an in-person convention in the fall at Arkansas RPG Con, and it went well. And so I was like, well, this will be something kind of fun to throw out there. And it's another one where I didn't have to do a lot of prep because I had ran it before, and if you're not familiar with the adventure, the middle part of it changes. So it is set on a railroad car, or a railroad train, sorry. And there's playing cards that are dealt out to show the different cars in the train, and each card is a different card depending on what you deal out. So it's really interesting in that way. So that was a lot of fun. I ran 2 sessions of that. And that's all I ran. But I played in 2 games. I played in Dieter Zimmerman's, I should have written this down. But it's like a mech thing where you were on a big mech. And it's escaping me, but it was super fun. I had a blast. I will put it down in the description. I can't believe I didn't think to double check that. And then I also played in Joan Troyer's What Lurks Between. Again, I'll put that down in the description. Another super fun adventure that is set in the same setting as Attack of the Frawgs by Stephen Newton, and it's I think kind of written to be a follow-up of that adventure. I have ran that adventure. I have read the next adventure. I've not ran that one, but I was super excited to get a chance to play. I've never been in a game that Joan ran, either online or in person, so that was fun. And trying to think, I think those are the only 2 games I played in. The seminars I attended, I watched most of what's new with Goodman Games. I had to cut it short a little bit because we had other stuff going on. That's one of the things about conventions at home, is that you've got to go do the things that you would have to do like in your normal, like in the middle of the Saturday, I had to go and do a grocery pickup at Walmart. So there's like those weird real life things that you don't have to deal with when you're at a real convention, other than maybe going to eat. If you're better than me, you go do that. I'm really terrible at making sure that I eat well at conventions. Hopefully y'all are better than me. And then Jen Brinkman's Lankmore 101, I attended one of those sessions. Felt like there was another one, but I can't think of it. And then I participated in one of the social hours, which were fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And there was parts of it that felt really a whole lot like being at a convention, especially in the games. Like running games, especially over Zoom, felt very similar to me, especially I ran both of my games on Zoom, and there really wasn't. I do theater of the mind. I don't use miniatures. Now with Orcs, I put a second camera on the playing cards. I use my computer to do me, like to show me talking and all of that. And then I had my phone over top of the playing cards so we could see the playing cards. And I kind of moved. I had some little game pieces that I moved around. I don't have miniatures, so I just pulled some of the dragons from Suro and used those to mark the players. And that worked really well. But I don't typically do that. I just typically, I may draw something real quick and show it. So Zoom really worked well for me for running games. I'm curious if any of y'all have tried the Discord, new video Discord settings. I'd love to know how that works because then I don't have to pay. I don't keep my Zoom subscription up, but it's worth that money when I've got stuff going on. So, but if Discord works, I might try that one of these days. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. And then the other convention, DCC Days Online. Goodman Games had originally scheduled DCC Day in May, and then with most of the shops being closed, they moved it to what used to be Free RPG Day, because Free RPG Day had moved forward to July. And so when still there were a lot of shops that weren't open or hosting events or stuff like that, then they decided to do another online convention, which I am all about because I can do an online convention. Easier a lot of times than even getting down to my local store. My local game store that I go to most often is a 2-hour drive for me. So I did not do nearly as much in this one. I didn't do any of the seminars. I participated in both of the social hours though, and that was a lot of fun. And I ran 2 games. I didn't play any games. It was like I wanted to be a part of it, but I had other stuff going on, so I just kind of did the minimum, I guess. But I ran more Hubris this time, and this time I ran 2 sandbox games. So it was first level sandbox, I believe is what I did, and I just made up character sheets and let everybody pick which class they wanted to be. I did not have very much crossover. I think I had 2 in my second game that I can't remember, but I wanted people to be able to play what they wanted to, and I knew that there's so many interesting classes in Hubris that there wasn't going to be like everybody wanting to play the same thing. So it worked out well. I don't know if I'll do it again like that. I do like that when you have everybody playing a different class, people get to see what different classes can do. But online, that's more of a struggle than when you're sitting at a table and you're like, here's the character sheets, pick what you want, because then you only have one thing. And I was just trying to streamline that process a little bit, because that was, with orcs, that was a process in getting people to, like, I had them list their choices, and then I kind of looked at everybody's top choice and tried to give them that. And if there was crossovers, then I had to go to somebody's second choice, and it just became it was a more of a process. But because there wasn't a lot of crossover, I was like, I'm just going to offer it and let people play what they want to play. I think I may have given somebody a second choice because they had said, hey, I want to play this, but if you have another person playing this, go ahead and give me this. And I think I did that with one of my sandbox games. But yeah, the sandbox games were super fun. I really didn't know. I had ran a sandbox in person in Hubris a couple of years ago at my local game store, and so I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. I basically handed out a kind of a newspaper to just a one-page newspaper thing that I posted in the Zoom links, and they could go, and it was just a list of hooks from the different areas of Hubris, and then I used the handy dandy train that we were on in Orcs to give them fast transport to where they wanted to, whatever hook they decided on. Luckily, they picked different hooks. There were about, I think it was 10 to 12. I can't remember the exact number. So the likelihood of them picking the same one, and I'm sure it would have played out different because I'd used the roll at the tables that Mike has provided, and so just in that, they would have changed because I would have gotten different encounters. I would have gotten different lay of the lands, and the players would have had different ideas. So, like I was talking to them after my first game, and they said, did you have any of this planned out? And I was like, no, not really. I said, at some point you said, is there a scientist? And I'm like, well, yes, of course there is now. So I gave them a scientist that they could go and question and eventually help. So yeah, I really want to run more sandbox games because that was super fun. And I kind of would like to do it in like a ongoing campaign, but not really a campaign because people's schedules, people can't always be there, but like do a series of adventures where maybe people can level up, people can bring in their lower level character that they played once and then didn't play for a couple of sessions. Just let it be a complete mess. And I'm okay with that. I'm a little bit of a chaotic person, so to put it mildly. So yeah, I think that would be a ton of fun. So yeah, that was my experience with the two virtual conventions that Goodman Games put on. Like I said, I'm not doing anything with Gen Con. It just wasn't the right time for me, I guess. But I will, if there's another Goodman Games convention, I will definitely be involved in that, because unless there's just a reason I can't be, I will be all in for that. And the last thing I want to talk about, I showed you the 2 patches that I got for Cyclops Con and DCC, that is upside down, DCC Days Online. I did get my first Road Crew swag package, so I thought I would share that real quick at the end of the video, just to see, in case you haven't ever gotten a swag pack and you're thinking about running games and you're kind of curious what you get. There is a web page also that kind of shows this, and I do not know which games I got which items for. I did not pay attention to that, but if you go to the web page, it will list what you get for which game you run. So I think I turned in for 5 games. So yeah, so this is January. This is my first Road Crew swag pack from 2020. And let's see what I've got. So first, I have the DCC RPG badges. And this is stuff that you're given to give away to your players. Some of it's for you, but a lot of it is for swag for your players. A handful of bookmarks. I think it's just 2 different ones. Yeah. So there's these right here. I like that one a lot. And the World Tour 2020. I've said this before. My local players really like bookmarks, so it's always exciting to get new bookmarks to share with them. And then we got to pick a couple. I got to pick a couple of modules that I wanted badges for. So Neon Knights, and of course, I mean, I've talked about my love of this module a lot. Sailors on the Starless Sea, and then our badges for, like, their class badges. So, and we picked 5 of them. I picked 5 of them. So I got Cleric, Dwarf, Elf, Wizard, and Halfling. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing, but the last of the swag, DCC RPG notebook. This one is horizontal, and it is blank inside. And then the posters, so you can put it up in your local game store or wherever else you might happen to run games. And then a big World Tour poster. So yeah, that was my first swag of 2020. hopefully I'll get some more. Maybe I'll run some online games. Keep an eye out. If I do run some online games, I will definitely post it in the DCC RPG Rocks group on Facebook. I would love to have y'all in the games when I'm actually get set up. But I will definitely post it there, and I'll probably post a video when I figure out what I want to do for the rest of the year. It will probably all be virtual. I can't imagine that I'm going to be running any in-person games in 2020 with the way everything's looking like right now. So hopefully 2021 is better. I will hopefully be back soon with another video and not take as long next time. But I can't promise anything. I really enjoy doing these videos though, so I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more of a habit. I guess that's all I have really to share today. I feel like I'm super out of focus. There we go. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.